Yeah. Brainiacs, man, all over this great planet we call Dirt. She's got a name, no doubt. All around this great planet we call Gaia. What's up, everybody? Matthew Turner here with the Matrix Minds. Late night in the Matrix. We're gonna discuss something tonight that's I'll just say that this is absolutely clinically insane, right? Tonight we're going to talk about, I'm going to go over a story with you tonight, as well as tonight is open lines night, so if you guys feel free to jump in the conversation. Try not to change the topic too much, but nevertheless, I'm going to go over a topic here that starts back as far back as 1848. Wow, 1848. And on top of that, we're going to go even further back into what is known as the trans-allegheny lunatic asylum. So I'm going to tell you right now, grab your cup of coffee, sit back, enjoy the show, no doubt about it. Welcome to the Matrix. Follow up on Rob Gauthier show, my boy up in the Michigan hood. I love you, Rob. Take care of yourself. Let's go, Brainiacs. Let's have some fun. Let's try to enjoy the show. Learn some shit about our history.
It's time. It's showtime, brains. That's right. It's Matrix time. And it's go time. Welcome aboard, everybody. Let's go! Talk about ufology, conspiracy, controversy, and anything and everything that we can get into tonight. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Grab your brownies, says Mr. Andy Cassidy. Yeah, man.
Wow! It's definitely your show. Your show, and we appreciate you for being here. Buckle up, everybody. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, Brainiacs. No doubt about it. Welcome aboard the Matrix. Did you guys grab a cup of coffee? Did you happen to grab a cup of coffee? I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to show you something. I don't line this up on my desk and snort it. But right there. You guys see this? A half a packet. Now Tina Daniel will say, children, adults, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Do not listen to that at all. Let me tell you right now, this shit here, oh my God. Cup of coffee, half a pack of Mojo, 15 minutes later, wow! I mean, I could have probably wrote the song "Flying High." Look, man, I know all fun and games cast aside. We're gonna talk about this man up here, the insane story, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this shit is absolutely insane. I worked. I let's see. Oh yeah. By the way, without a crash, By the way, anyway, where was the show on Monday? Monday, I got a text on Sunday night, 4:30 in the morning. Went to work about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And remember, now this is the show. The show is a full-time job for me. All right. So whenever it came in, and mind you, we've got about a $230 internet bill coming up, which is the website expenses for the year. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna cast it on you guys, which I will show you. However, I will show you this right here. Anyway, I didn't want to throw this on you guys, so I ended up going to work, to fill in for a driver real quick, and I got back in the house about 8:30 that night, Monday night, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I took a shower, I ate, and I fell on my face in the recliner till about 3:30 in the morning. So I apologize for not doing a show. I do. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna do 2 in a row. Friday I've got some things going on, so tonight we'll do late night in the Matrix, following up with Rob Gauthier, my boy from Michigan, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, as well. And on Thursday is we're not gonna really even mention what's going on Thursday, tomorrow, or what's today, right? Tonight, until a little bit later tonight. Let's just say that if you were interested in Atlantis, you definitely are not going to want to miss this show, okay? And the reason I say that is because we'll be interviewing a lady that is Third Reich, Fourth Reich German descent, and remembers her encounter, her incarnation. Let's just say that. Remembers her incarnation to a T, okay? With being in Atlantis. I'm talking like god status, okay? So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting tonight, what tonight brings. Again, reason why there was no show on Monday is because I had to go to work and I fell on my face. I literally did. I fell on my face whenever I hit the door. But nevertheless, I shared with you, thank you so very much to it's really, again, it's not a lot. A lot of people's like, oh, $10 a month, you must be raking in the dough. Right, we're not, okay? We're really not. The expenses here, like I said, are around roughly $190 a month to run the broadcast, and we are finally catching up with subscribers that's going to help take a big ass chunk of that, to where I don't have to like get the money out of my savings account to broadcast that. I want to also give a shout out to Steve Kelm up in Canada, as well as all of the other subscribers to the show. You guys are amazing. You guys are what make this show function, okay? Listen to me. I'll tell you again. Without you, this is my job, okay? I rely on the subscriptions to help me pay the expenses. So anyway, getting out the hell out of the way. I want to talk about Mr. I don't even want to call this man a man, because the story that I'm going to read, the dialogue I'm going to go over with you, is pretty damn gruesome. The show is absolutely labeled correctly. The Insane Story of Dr. Henry Cotton. Okay? Let me just say this. This man, okay, was deemed in the 40s, in the late 40s, mid 40s, I'm talking 1840s, not 1940s, as head of the medical epidemiology, and on top of that, it goes further. He was also the medical director. Okay? We've got a medical director that I'm not going to even make mention of his name. I'm just not. We've got a director here in the United States, a medical director in the United States. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to point out some things in this story, okay, of the life of Henry Cotton. I'm going to drop the doctor because this dude does not even deserve. There's two things he doesn't deserve. Number one is the abbreviation DR dot. Bullshit. When I read you and I go over this story with you, you're going to see how the medical board, now get this, I'm going to tell you this. The medical board in that day and age held this guy at a very high stature. He had a very high ranking position. Okay, to go from just a medical researcher, because that's what he was. That's what he really was. A medical researcher. This man evaluated psychiatric, classified insane, mentally handicapped, it's, oh God. Let me just share with you again. I'm not even gonna say that. Anyway, let's go over here to the brain chat right real quick. See who's up in here. Miss Lisa Thomas, Tina Danley is up in here. Yeah. What's up, guys? Mr. Andy Cassie, you hit the nail on the head right there. You hit the nail on the head, boy. You said FK Tony. Let me just tell you why, right? You hit the nail on the head, bro. Dr. Mangley. Ooh. Yeah, that's another one. That's definitely another one. What's all the happy birthdays for? What the hell? Apollo James, what's up, man? I haven't seen that name up in here. I haven't seen you up in here in a while. Dr. Mangley, if you will. Yeah. Tell you what. Let me go on. I don't. Whose birthday is it? Because I didn't catch whose birthday it was. I missed it scrolling. What the hell? Whose birthday is it? Somebody drop it in the chat right real quick. Whose birthday is it? I didn't catch that. What the hell? Missed you Monday, bro. Let me tell you what. I was falling on my face, man. I literally was, from going in at 7:30 in the morning, not working, not even getting back in the house. Not even getting back in the house until 8 o'clock, 8:30. It was about 8, almost 8:30 that night. After I showered, after I ate dinner, I sat in there. I literally sat in the recliner in there, kicked on YouTube on something I don't really remember, and I remember waking up at. Now Melissa doesn't bother me. She didn't wake me up and say, "Oh well, you got a show to do." She just let me die, and that's what happened. So anyway, all right. Reveal yourself, whoever's birthday it is. What's up, Miss Ming? I seen you over in the chat with Robbie and Angel. Thank you for being over there. Thank you for real for being over there at Rob Gauthier's chat. I love them guys, man. He not looking good, says somebody. Oh, says Minga. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna go over here again. Everybody, welcome to the Matrix. For if you're new, if you're a newbie, which the majority of you guys are not. You're not new. You're not newbies. You know what the hell is up. I'm gonna bring this to where. Oh, it's not letting me do it that way. What I'm gonna do is check this out. All right, so I'm gonna get into the story of Henry Cotton. All right, so what we got here up here, this right here is the New Jersey lunatic asylum, later known as the Trenton Psychiatric Hospital. I'm gonna show you some images. I got a couple images out of there for you to look at. This was the great state. Now this is a great state hospital in Trenton, New Jersey. Okay, and it was founded on May 15th in 1848. Now, why is that significant? The reason why that is significant is because back then and in that day, okay, has anybody heard that there would be a payment to anybody that could bring in someone to said evaluatable psychiatric ward, the hospital, whatever, would give you money to turn somebody in. Let's just say out of shits and giggles, I'm married to Minga, or I'm married to Miss Blanche Taylor, right? I'm married to Blanche, and well, hi, Victoria. Thank you, Australia. We love you down there, man. You guys do exist. Australia does exist, and we love you too. Thank you for the kudos, Victoria. Appreciate it. So I'm married to Blanche here, right? And I kind of I don't like my wife's attitude, right? She's just flipping out. She's going through menopause, maybe. No, better yet. One of the good ones that they did, and they turned the women into and spun this shit around, was they, happy birthday, sweetheart. They would say, because women, we know women that go through, postpartum depression, right? That's a thing. That is a thing. And here's the thing. These ladies that go and have went through postpartum depression, back in the day, these hospitals would pay the husband to bring in the said wife or said victim for psychiatric evaluation. I shit you not. They would pay them to bring clientele. Okay, so with that being said, we had a lot of people, especially the women that suffered from postpartum depression, be blackballed per se and drug off to a psychiatric hospital that truly didn't need psychiatric hospital. What they truly needed was some love and compassion from their own spouse, their own family, to help them through the postpartum depression or whatever it be. Okay, that's to be a lot. Like today, today, back in the day, I'm just sharing with you. Today, back in the day, Yvonne, Apollo, Morgan, all of us that think outside of the box, think outside of the narrative, we call them normies, right? We would be drug off in shackles, ball gagged, whatever it be, for psychiatric evaluation because of the way that we think. Let me take a swig of coffee here real quick. Now, like I was trying to say on Robbie's show, Rob. Those of you that don't know who Rob Gauthier is, he is known as the ET Whisperer. ET Whisperer. Say that 3 times fast. Channels, extra-dimensional entity. We know quite a few of these people. Again, they drag his... Sorry, Angel. They would just... We're taking your husband. He's an oddball. Well, they'd take you too, Angel. You're a channeler. So anyway, next thing you know, these kind of things, we would definitely be drug off to the loony bin, right? Because we don't fit inside of their formal narrative. Now, I absolutely fell in love with Miss Kelly Coffee. Okay, I did. I truly fell in love with her because she described this construct. She described what I have experienced, what Kenny, Matthew Beckill, Kenny, oh God, to a T. The Matrix system, whenever I've astral projected, in fact, I just dropped. It's funny that she mentioned what she mentioned. They drag her ass off the loony bin too. Again, out of the norm. Out of the normal. But that's the thing. To me, to you, we are the normal ones. This is just it's the way I think. I question everything. Here's the thing. It's not okay to not question your reality. Okay? I am an astral projector. I teach astral projection. I study the psychology of the human being. It's because I want to know the world around us. Okay, that, my friends, is what got me into wanting to look more into the insane story of this Astard right below us, which is Henry Cotton. Now, again, back in the day, we're gonna take this into a spin. So let me go ahead and show you. Let me just go over there and we'll start reading this. Again, we've got open lines. I've got to actually kick open the switchboard. Just hang on one second. Let me do that. Let me do that real quick, and we'll go from there. Let me start the studio because I haven't done that. I have not started the call-in studio. It's not that you guys can't do it, but yes, there. Let's see. Damn, there's already one. Somebody there. Let's see. I don't have a clue who this is. I don't have a clue who this is. Who is this? Area code 639. Yeah, all right, one more time. Apollo. What's up? All right, I say I had before I even started, I had to unmute you. What's up, Mr. Apollo? Welcome to the Matrix. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, I've been there, done that, but I'm good.
Oh, the insane asylum. They drug your ass off because you think like we do. Right?
What's that?
Yeah, I said you think like we do, so they drug you off to the insane asylum. Is that what you're saying? You said been there, done that.
Yeah.
Man, welcome to the Matrix, bro. You're from what I know of you, you're a good human being. You think outside the box. You've got a compassionate heart. You love human. What the fuck's wrong with you? Ain't nothing wrong. ain't nothing wrong with you. What's up,
exactly.
man? What's going on?
It's a weird. I don't want to bring it up sometimes, but 45 minutes away from where I live, we used to have a insane asylum called Fort Sam. And it had to probably do with residential schools and whatever, but then it got shut down, but now they completely destroyed it, and now it's gone. So now that memory of that insane asylum in my area is just a memory, where at least people what you were bringing up, they have pictures, they have documents, they have doctors. But that insane asylum, and then it used to be haunted, and then people used to go there to be like, let's go check out the old insane asylum, Fort Sam, and there was ghosts, and then now it's all closed down and no one can go there.
Oh, Apollo, let me tell you what, bro. You called prior to me reading the story of the back history of the lobotomy, right? We've all heard the word lobotomy. So you called me prior to getting into the story of the lobotomy, as well as the New Jersey State Lunatic Asylum, aka the Trenton Asylum. I was also going to talk about what's known as the trans-allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which my fourth cousin from Copen, West Virginia. His name was Lanny Hacker, was a maintenance guy at the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, which it got changed to the name of the Weston State Hospital. So I've got family. Now, it was funny, but back in the day, late, whenever I was younger, I was a security guard in two places. And that is what's known as the Edwin Shaw Hospital, okay? Which back in the day was known as the Lakemore Sanitarium. And then I got transferred because I was the only one that was not scared of the ghosts, right? I was transferred to a place in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. And the name of that place was Fallsview Insane Asylum or Psychiatric Hospital. Dude, I've always been for some reason, I've always been drawn to like trying to help those that are like in that situation, because to me, bro, I see schizophrenia as someone who can clearly see the matrix without a filter. Did you hear me?
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like it's weird that you just explain that too, like they change the names of the buildings. It's like, but like if you in tune with your spirit, you don't even need names on a building. You just
right.
And that's the thing. Like I live in Saskatchewan, Canada, up here. Like mental health wise in my city, so like in my state or province, we only have like 1 million or so people, but like in our city, that all the mental health stuff goes into the one hospital in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty awkward. Yeah, it's pretty awkward because like that's on the main level, and on the second level is like where everyone has their babies. Like,
damn.
This one little ding, ding, and then like it's weird. Why would you put all the psychos or whatever schizophrenics on one level, and then upstairs you go upstairs and you can have your babies there? But it's like I'm like First Nations, Native American, so like, but I grew up like I was brought up super Christian, so
right.
I haven't lots of experience, but like it's weird for like for people to like it would be weird. Like imagine if like some native ancestors or whatever start saying, oh, these white kids, these white people need to start having experiences like, like us. And then they would call them, oh, lock them up. They're schizophrenic. All
right.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like, but like, we got to look after each other, right?
Apollo's
but no one.
You got. Here's the thing.
Like,
Let me ask you a personal question, okay? And you don't have to answer this. If you just say you don't want to answer, it's fine. Are you on the spectrum at all up there? Or do they classify you as quote unquote air quotes being on the spectrum? Not normal.
I haven't got tested.
Okay. The reason I say ask that is because you would, if you were or you were not, right, you would be able to, like, literally, well, even now you could I know you will agree with this. If they don't truly understand the human being, the spirit trying to express itself, right? A lot, like I said, I personally believe that a schizophrenic sees the matrix, sees the world without a filter. Those that are deemed with at quote Asperger's syndrome, okay, is the very high functioning autistic, right?
Yeah.
I see that as an experiential, very, very poignant, on target spirit, okay, that can see things differently. I don't see it as a symptom of like an illness. I don't see it like that. Okay. I even go as far as saying our boy Robbie's got Jeremy. Now Jeremy is autistic, but he's not functional, really, truly, okay? But you can tell, and Robbie will tell you, he's smart, okay? He's very, very,
they'll view it as a threat, so they'll say, put them on drugs.
Oh
Which is
yeah,
weird.
that's the
Don't-
first thing
don't
they
do
want
drugs.
to do, dude.
Don't
The-
do drugs, kids, but if you're too much for us to handle, mentally or spiritually, you gotta go on these drugs.
Oh yeah, the non-func. No, now here's the thing. Here's the kicker. Now we've interviewed. Her name is Alex Marcoux. Okay, Alex Marcoux wrote a book about transcending the fifth dimension. Now this is where the non-functioning autistic work. This is where they work. They work on the astral etheric plane. They are the ones, okay, that can interact with reality here, as well as they do exploitation on the fifth, fourth, the fifth, sixth, higher dimensions. They're truly there. We've got Alex Marcoux has got a lady that is a psychic medium that channels Daniel, which Daniel is the autistic, the non-functioning autistic. Very smart. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying by medical epidemiology says, oh, well, these kids are stupid or they're just insane. They're like not there. And let's label these children when they don't understand these children. They don't understand these people that think outside of the box. Right? They try to denormalize these people. And all that's doing is belittling what they truly are. You see, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy stupid. The matrix that we're surrounded by. It's like everybody up in here. I clearly will tell you, if you think outside of the box, welcome to my world.
Yeah.
You know. Check this out. So Apollo, you wanna hang tight with me, and we'll read about this. We'll read about the New Jersey State Lunatic Asylum. We'll bounce some thoughts off on one another's head as we go over this. You want to do that with me?
Sure.
All right. Let me find my glasses here, because my blind ass is. As I get older, I'm getting blinder and blinder. I can't see shit. But that's the thing. I can probably see a hawk's butthole at 500 yards. There we go. Look at that. I can see the Matrix right now.
Be careful, Alice, I'd say.
Right.
With those glasses.
Be careful, Alice. I'm going to make this bigger. Everybody's already seen the picture of the asylum here. That way I can scroll over here, make this bigger to where you guys can see this. Read along with me if you want to. All right. The New Jersey Lunatic Asylum, later renamed the Trenton Psychiatric Hospital, was founded in May 15th of 1848. Its completion marked the opening of the first mental hospital in the entire state, and the very first asylum ever constructed. I don't know what this is. The Kirkbridge plan? I have no idea what that is. Okay. The hospital was conceived and built with some of the most noble intentions that have ever been graced by a state-funded establishment. Oh boy, here we go. Simply to provide the best.
Sorry, can I just interject for 1 second?
Already? Go ahead.
I was gonna say when that hospital was erected, they didn't have you like the Matrix Minds, talk shows, anything, internet. So, like, what if they were rounding up all, like, Matrix Minds people in that time? They'd be like, these people are talking crazy.
Well, they did. Hell yeah, bro. I told you back in the day, dude. Let's say Apollo's married, right? Apollo's married and his wife's going through postpartum depression, which happens to a lot of females right after childbirth. Yeah. They lose their shit, right? They lose their mind. I mean, I've talked to some women that have went through some postpartum depression to the point where they wanted to, like, literally take the life of their newborn. I mean, they go through some serious shit. It's no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would like, from my perspective, because I'm a boy, a man, or whatever you'd call me, but I always felt like at some point in my life, I felt like my mom went through trauma too, right? And she had my older sister born through rape, and like I kind of viewed like, what if I was like that fetus that like just took all that trauma out of her uterus and then boop, that's me. Like
Ooh.
from
No,
like
did
a
you
different perspective.
Right.
Like that's like not postpartum depression. That's like just a baby born of taking all that out and kind of make things right for everyone else.
All right, so continuing the story.
Sorry,
continuing the story here, please. All right, so the New Jersey State Lunatic the New Jersey Lunatic Asylum was supposed to usher in a whole new psychiatric level, okay, and usher in a whole new age of psychiatric study. It was to be an embodiment of the country's enlightened mental ward, or towards those that are less fortunate. Instead, check this out. Just under 60 years after opening, this asylum had become a hellish prison for the mentally and physically challenged. Now, we're going to get into that one. Okay?
Because no one wants to deal with their mentally challenged children. So they just find a place to put them all.
Right. So those that were handicapped...
They're not really mentally challenged. They're not really mentally challenged. They're just misunderstood.
Bingo. You hit the nail on the head right there, bro.
Drugs. And the more you try to drug them instead of understand them, the more they turn into crazy. They just get more crazy. It's almost like they're really like maybe schizophrenia is like a super power of empathy, so much so that they're like absorbing other people's consciousnesses and minds and memories and trying to figure things out on their own, where the doctors are coming into their doors and be like, what do you want to talk about? And that one crazy person would say thousands of things.
I want to talk about extraterrestrials. I want to talk about things like that. I want to talk about the shit I see from day to day, right? And then you're deemed completely up insane. Let me finish this story, because this guy's.
Oh yeah,
Henry,
I'm enjoying the talk. I'm trying to put a different, because I'm a music producer, creative writer, but also like spiritual, and so I'm just adding different perspectives to the thing of, not only like you're just reading the story and the books and reading about New Jersey, but like, what about the people that are actually there? Like they still have, yeah.
But listen to what they went through. Okay, listen to what they went through back in the day. So again, Cotton, right? This Henry Cotton. It says that the story serves as one of the most darkest psychiatric tales ever to be and come down the pike here. It says Cotton was a firm believer. Now again, this is a doctor. Cotton was a firm believer that the onset and persistence of mental illness in a person stemmed from infection within one's body. In order to preserve and restore the troubled minds of the patients under his care, the doctor and his staff took to removing the patient's teeth. That was number one. It was Cotton's belief that the teeth were the most likely location in the patient's body to house the infections. Now, okay, I can kind of agree with that. However, if the symptoms persisted after the teeth removal, additional body parts were systematically removed. The next common organs to be removed from the, above and beyond the tooth extraction, okay, and if that failed, were the tonsils and the sinuses. Okay, from there, the patient could lose a number of internal organs. And I said organs, including but not limited to. This doctor would remove their colon. Do you see this? Right there. Let me make this a little bit bigger for those that can't see this shit. This doctor would remove their colon, their cervix, their ovaries, their gallbladder, stomach, including and not limited to the spleen. Okay? As well as in males, the testicles. That's right. Now, based solely upon, now I'm going to say this, Cotton's own research and experimentation, Cotton publicly reported a wonderful success rate for his patients. Wow. The study of infection, okay, although here's the thing. The study of infections was still a whole new scope of science at the time. And due to an alleged link that between the mental illness, Cotton garnered much praise in the medical community, both as well in New Jersey, all over the United States, as well as Europe. Now, mind you, this dude literally, now if going on in the story, I will share this story in the Brainiac chat. Yes, Minga, this is some crazy shit. This doctor literally, can you hear this? You can definitely hear what I'm saying, can't you, Apollo? This doctor literally...
Oh, yeah, no, I was waiting for you to talk about when they started using electrodes. That
bro,
was kind of...
This son of a...
Where
this bastard literally would chop these people up for experimentation. Seriously.
Yeah. That's the thing that I was wanted to tell humans or people that, like, why are we studying, like, if you think about it,
I do too.
All of science, all of medical science, we study the dead bodies. Why are we studying dead bodies for ways to make living bodies more alive? Like, why are we... Yeah. It's weird that you said that about the teeth, because, like, I have upper dentures, but I have strong bottom teeth. My sisters and my dad, they got their appendix removed. Yeah, there's just many things that are just, like, why do they think that, why do you think that removing certain body parts would make the rest of the body okay?
No idea. I mean, you're crazy, dude, bro. This is the way. Let me tell you what. Now, I'm a firm believer that we were built perfect. I am a very firm believer that creation does not, and in fact, I was told by the Pleiades that creation does not make a mistake. Human beings, the biological entity, are the ones that quote unquote deem make mistakes. Okay, creation does not make a mistake. Everything in creation is perfection. You were built perfect by a perfect design. Okay, we come in here in the bodies that we come in as perfect entities. God does not make a mistake. Creation does not accidentally fuck up. It doesn't make a oops. Okay, so here's where I'm saying that the normal people, the quote unquote normies, right? If they do happen to have an autistic kid or one without a this or one without a that, it's because the spirit or the entity needed to somehow facilitate and work in that body to do what it needed to do when it needed to do it, and however, wherever it chose to do it. You see what I'm saying? So to me, the autistic, they're perfect. They're absolutely perfection in creation's eyes. There's nothing wrong with them. They're not labeled stupid, retarded, whatever. The way dude, that is the most. You want to piss me off more than anything? You call somebody that has got got that that label, call them retarded in front of me. That will fucking trigger me so fast. That's like calling one of my dark friends a Negro, or not that word, but the other word, dude. Yeah. I don't fit in this construct. Okay, you've probably heard me say this. We are a virus in their system, and they don't like it. And I'm completely fine with them not liking me being a virus in their system. Let's continue to fuck shit up. I'm being serious. By all means, I'm telling you the truth. The way I personally see it. If you don't think I'm normal, then you can straight go fuck yourself. I don't care. And nobody else, usually up in here, we don't really care either. To us, we're normal. It's those that label us as not normal that we sit back and say, well, I wonder what's wrong with that man. He's going with he or she's running with the narrative, the agenda. Oh yeah, look at them. They're standing in line. They're rolling up their sleeves. They're getting. Why don't they question what's in the shit? Don't you think they would want to know? Don't you think they would want to like question the stuff around them? What's this? What's that? Why this? Why that? No, hell no.
That's the problem though with the jab or the medicine was that they didn't even get a chance to question. Then they were like, well, now you can't go shopping. Oh, now you can't go to the gym. Now you can't go to church. Like church even. Now you can't even go to...
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about you know what? That's something stupid. There's something stupider than shit too. Why we cannot talk about said virus? You kidding me?
Yeah.
We can't even talk. We can't even discuss the pandemic. That's complete utter bullshit. It is what it is. I mean, put it this way. I just emailed a doctor. That is very, very, very vocal, very, very vocal on YouTube. The man has lost his YouTube channel multiple times, and I'm gonna give you guys the dude's name. I'm going to give you guys the doctor's name. Because if you're not if you're not following him, I want you to follow him and literally listen to what he says. His name is Dr. Scott Jensen on YouTube. Okay? Absolutely brilliant man, good soul, and he's fighting medical epidemiology for me and for you. He has got no problems telling Anthony Fauci to pound dirt at all. Because here's where we're at in this situation. Like Dr. Jensen says, we are in a world right now where our opinions and our bias are being labeled as disinformation. Or just our fucking opinion. You kidding me? We're not even allowed to have an opinion? No. No, we are entitled to our own opinion. Medical epidemiology, they're entitled to their opinion. In fact, they shove their opinion in your arm. Okay? Now, Dr. Scott Jensen, going further, says we as society, we need to be able to label things as misinformation versus disinformation. Now, I know, Apollo, you wouldn't spread disinformation on purpose. That's what it is. You're trying to, be deceptive by sharing false shit. That's disinformation. Now, government literally have got paid propagandists to do said things. Okay, we know these as paid trolls. Now, I've had to deal with them. Larry Hawkins has had to deal with them. We've all had to deal with paid trolls. But the thing is, there's got to be a classification here between my opinion, misinformation, meaning, oops, sorry, Larry, or sorry, Peggy, Tina, I didn't mean, Apollo, I didn't mean to say this. It's incorrect. So let's just, okay, versus deceptive disinformation. Dr. Scott Jensen goes into this. Okay.
And that's the same thing with like the New Jersey, the topic that you up the night is like I couldn't imagine all the thoughts or whatever going through all these asylum patients and it's like, that's disinformation. Drug them. That's disinformation. Lobotomy. That's disinformation.
Well, Apollo,
Like, or with ADHD too, like you said too, like he's not normal, so he might have like.
Who cares?
Like,
who cares if the man or the woman's not normal? Okay, maybe this is the thing. A birth defect could be limited, but yet not limited to clarification of a mental illness. Okay, because again, epidemiology says if there's not something, if he or she is not normal to fit inside of the square box, okay, or square hole, and he's supposed to be a square box, then there's something wrong. It's stick him in a label, a category of mental illness. He's mentally challenged. He's mental ill. He's sick psychosis, whatever. Now let me tell you what, sick psychosis. I've studied a lot of sick psychosis. I'm limited. Like. Here's the thing. I've been on the phone talking to Percy Littleton about this, and talk about psychology. There is something about. We've talked about the satanic elite, right? We've talked about, they say that on the show. Now there's something to be said between someone who will literally. No, what about this? Let me throw this at you. Okay, all right. Now, are you ready for this, Apollo? Can you hear me? All right.
Okay. Yep.
You've heard. We've all heard, quote unquote, air quotes, the story of what is known as frazzle drip. Right? Have you heard that?
No.
No. All right. A lot of us up in the Matrix know what that is, and that's supposed to have been a video. So I can't even say supposed to have been. That was a video that was like found on the dark web of Huma Abedin and Hillary Clinton literally cutting the face off of a child, putting her face on their face and scaring the living fuck.
Now,
am I getting?
Now the Matrix is making go.
I'll bet it is.
I
bet it is. Come on, man. What's going on here, ABCs? Am I touching on a topic? You don't like this? You don't like that topic? Hitting a little close to home? Nevertheless, this shit's real, okay? And there's some really dark tales in history where academiology like just sweeps it right under the rug and they don't want to talk about it. It's not okay. It's not okay to talk about these things. But these things need talked about. There's a fine line between disinformation, misinformation, and your opinion. Now I'm sharing things with you that you can literally research. Completely whitewashed, scrubbed. You talk about fucking bleach bit. They bleach bitted the internet for these people. There's not a single searchable anything about what I just told you. But I'm telling you right now, it was real. I'm telling you right now that it's been seen. You've got friends up in this chat right now that have seen the video I mentioned. Got to remember, here's the thing. We've all know this. Again, what we're talking about, Apollo, right now. I'm gonna finish the story about this crazy ass lunatic Henry Cotton, because here's I'm gonna make a really, really disturbing fucking connection here, and everybody's gonna go, oh yeah, I've heard of that, and it's gonna scare you. And it should. It should. You gotta remember, whenever there was a laptop of I'll just put it out there, Anthony Weiner, that was supposedly found, okay, or handed over to the police of New York, and there were police that were mentally disturbed because of the shit that was found on said laptop. Did you hear that one? Apollo, was you able to hear it? No garble. Yeah. What was found on Anthony Weiner's laptop that made the police cry? choke up, puke, something. Where is all this? Where is all of this? It was swept under the fucking rug. That's where it was at. And that's what happened to it. Because I'm gonna go on and tell you the story, and we're gonna finish a little bit more of Henry Cotton, the man, the insane story of this doctor. Let me continue a little bit, okay? Cotton was again. Remember, Cotton was a firm believer that the mental illness stemmed from infection. Okay, to be even more gruesome yet, the surgeries that Cotton. You guys could all be with me here. In fact, again, let me share this in the Matrix. I want to do that. So if you are not in the Matrix chat here on Facebook, YouTube, I apologize. I apologize. I will somehow get you the what I'm reading here. So the surgeries performed were done in an era before the use of antibiotics, okay, resulting in a very high mortality rate due to infections. Many of the patients of Trenton Psychiatric Hospital were mentally handicapped. They were mentally challenged, okay? So what happened to our brave warriors? Now that to me was exactly what a mentally challenged person is, a mentally handicapped. See, they deem this as handicapped. I don't personally see that, okay, as a handicap. I don't. I see it as something, like I told you, Apollo, the entity chose to be there. Okay, some of these people, it says, was quite severely so. Still, in fact, that many of these people who went undergoing of Cotton's knife ended up dead, and sometimes thereafter was not lost. Was not lost on the patient's populace. Meaning, here's the thing: they covered this up. This resulted in patients who become very fearful of the surgery. And accounts of the patients who were literally dragged into the operating room, okay, in the state of panic. Eventually, Cotton's methods began to draw attention of the other members of the medical field. Members who felt that the surgical procedures did little to no help with one's mental state. Thank God we had someone else step up to the plate, because this dude's fucking crazy. Okay, Dr. Mayer, it says M-Y-E-R, Dr. Mayer, head of the psychiatric clinic and trained. Now here, check this out. This is where it gets interesting. Head of the psychiatric clinic and training institution at what? None other than the Johns Hopkins Center, or the Johns Hopkins University. Remember me telling you that we're going to start connecting some dots here? Remember me saying that? Well, yeah. Think about this. What did our great doctor today, our great doctor, our director of medicine, what did he get busted by Senator Rand Paul? Senator Rand Paul busted his ass for funding, okay? What? Do you know what he got busted for funding? Clinical NIH research. That's what he got busted for funding. Now you gotta remember, this is one of the most paid individuals in our government, and he got busted for funding that.
He was also paid and around with the AIDS epidemic in the 80s too.
Ding, ding, ding. I got to open up another window, because that, my friend, right there, that right there deserves a fucking bomb. I wonder what's going on here. They've done these things for quite some time. Now, mind you, I'm going to try to keep back where I'm going, but the story I'm reading to you was from 1848. This has been going on for a very, very, very long time. This is nothing new.
I'm I have a whole story too, but one thing that always not confuses me in the Matrix, but I wish other people would recognize too, with the Spanish flu, like there used to be pictures of Americans saying unmasked or unpatriotic. That was like 100 years ago.
Right.
And then we have people saying you got to wear 5 masks, got to wear 4 masks. It's like what?
Apollo.
You know what I mean? Like it's all like I like that you're bringing up the psychiatric part of the studies because no one's really bringing that out. But all the Karens are going crazy and everyone's filming the craziness coming out of people. Yeah. But that was, yeah. Sorry to interrupt about saying that about.
You're all right. You're all right. Here's the kicker. The kicker is this. This has been going on for a long, long, long time. Okay? MK Ultra, Tammy Bonham mentioned Dr. Mengele. Okay? Here's the thing. We've got this man, mind you, the story I'm telling you is true. This is not a fictitious man. This is fiction. This shit is real. This dude was real. Okay? Now I'm continuing on here. Now I'm oh dude, the psychiatric he goes even further, Apollo. So again, I wanted to point out Johns Hopkins University. Okay? And this man was contacted to do an independent, now check this out. Let me make this a little bit bigger. To do an independent overview of what the work occurring at the Trenton Psychiatric Hospital. Okay? After Dr. Mayer had returned from a visit to the hospital, which left him with concerns about Cotton's methods and the system by which his work was performed and reviewed, Mayer's commissioned a member by his staff, Dr. Phyllis Greenacre, okay, to critique Cotton's work at the hospital. Now here's where it gets interesting. Dr. Greenacre began her review in the fall of 1924. Okay, her initial findings upon entering the hospital were completely unsettling. Her remarks about how disturbing it was for most of the patients at the facility lacking teeth, making speech, and the simple act of eating meals a very difficult undertaking most of them to perform. Yeah, could you imagine that? Okay, mentally challenged, just a mental. I won't call them handicapped. I'll say mentally challenged, minus their teeth. Yeah, I can understand where hell to try to talk to them, let alone being put on some fucked up psychiatric drugs, right? Let alone it was bothering her to watch them. Okay, when delving into the paperwork regarding Cotton's surgical treatments and the results, she found official records to be impossible to draw results from. Okay, now this is where it gets crazy. Not only were they poorly documented, they also held, many contradictions. Now, by 1925, interest in the hospital reached the New Jersey State Senate. Imagine that. Which launched their own investigation into the hospital and the practices of the staff. During this turbulent time, Dr. Cotton became quite ill, it said, with rumors surfacing that he himself started suffering from a mental breakdown. And it says regardless of the diagnosis himself as ailing from his own several blah 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 infected teeth, after having them removed, Cotton announced to himself as cured. Okay, he removed his teeth and returned to work at the hospital. Sooner thereafter, Cotton opened his own private practice in Trenton, New Jersey, and continued his work. So here's again where I'm going with this is I'm going to show you or tell you that regardless of this man's practice and the evaluation, okay, the evaluation of the Senate, the evaluation of the medical board in New Jersey, all of the practices, okay, they released to the public what they wanted to they wanted to release. Okay, there were numerous publications that were documented by other epidemiologists in the medical field that contradicted his formality of curing illness, mental illness. So, well, since it was like poorly documented, unethical, fucking morbid, we won't even make mention of that. Good job. They did a great job. This man was a director of medicine. And you heard me tell you the removal of colons, spleen, teeth, let alone, let me share with you this. I'm going to share with you this, and we'll probably get echoed on this one. You ready? Because this is right here is where the rubber meets the road, Apollo. This right here is what a lot of people need to understand is real. Absolutely real. We haven't even gotten into the trans-allegheny lunatic asylum yet, but let's continue this. If many of you guys find this story interesting, indeed it was very interesting to me. So I'm going to share with you right here the horrifying cures of Dr. Henry Cotton, America's biggest quack. Okay? But above and beyond that, I'm going to take you into this one right here, which right here. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you in case you can't read that. It says the VA, the Veterans Association's sad record of lobotomies. Oh my God. Okay, the lobotomy was a real thing. Absolutely a real thing. And if you don't quite know what a lobotomy is, all right, let me explain to you what a lobotomy is. What they usually would do. Do you know what a lobotomy is, Apollo?
Yeah, and I'm always kind of worried why everyone accepts the PCR test through the nose.
Oh, shit. Well, that's a good one. It's a really good one. The main lobotomy was here's the kicker. Did you know that it started out with an ice pick? Did you know that?
Yeah, because they had to chook it into your nose.
That's correct. All right. They also found out that going through above the eyeball. Okay. You clearly see this. Let me again for those that are interested in this. Go up here and I'll grab this. I'll run over to the brain chat and I'll drop this in the chat too. Let me drop that up there. All right. So anyway, this is I just dropped it in the Brainiac chat there on the Matrix Minds. YouTubers, yep, that's where it's at. So this is the VA's sad record of lobotomies. All right. Now I'm not going to read this entire thing. I'm not going to go over the entire thing to you. I just want to point out right here where you can read that, right? You can read that word. The U.S. what? Lobotomized roughly 2,000 World War II veterans, according to unearthed records. Wow. In a Wall Street Journal's investigation, these men suffered from diseases, including, what did I just say? Schizophrenia, depression. How many, Apollo, how many people do you know, if any, that were diagnosed with schizophrenia? Do you know anybody?
My dad almost.
Okay.
And they tried to do it with me and one of my friends right now, but.
Okay. So what about let's go over this one. This is clinical psychosis, okay? Now again, I'm not trying to I'm not putting any words in anybody's mouth. This is from nprnews.org. Okay? This is their article. We're going over it. Now, again, right there's the word schizophrenia, as well as how many people do we know suffer from this word? Depression. Right? Now that right there's a comment. The word depression these days. Who's not fucking depressed? Look at the word, right?
Yeah.
Who's not fucking depressed? And who's not suffering from a bad day? We all have bad days. We all have bad days.
I think, sorry, not to, just to play the devil's advocate in this situation about the VA, like coming back home, being addicted to heroin or whatever, and not to have heroin on the streets, like being lobotomized and forgetting what they went through. The doctors, they were trying to say, you know, you won't have to think about it anymore. You just have to be
Lobotomized, baby. Lobotomized. Again, for those that don't know what a lobotomy is, again, they started doing this through the septum of the nose, straight up through the nose, up into the frontal cortex lobe, and they would kind of like just play with that a little bit. All right? Play with it a little bit. Didn't really quite see, they couldn't see what the fuck they were doing. So they would just they literally would just bust through bust through the sinus cavity, okay, with an ice pick up into the frontal lobe of the brain, and again like kind of like twist it around a little bit.
Originally, I think it was supposed to be neutralize the connection between the left and right brain, because in neuroscience it's called neuroplasticity. So even if you lobotomize some people, their brain will just naturally use their neurotransmitters to fix themselves, if that makes sense.
Oh, you mean they would hemisync?
Which is why even if you try to give people mentally ill or schizophrenic people drugs, like their brains will just try to find ways around it. So it's kind of weird that like to drug down or lobotomize people like that, where their brain is just going to figure out a way to bounce back.
I'm reading where Andy Cassidy up here in the chat says they use that with Vietnam veterans as well. Now, see, I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past them. Again, with what I'm reading, I'm going to continue the article I dropped in the chat. Okay, I'm going to continue this article real quick. And again, the word depression and psychosis. Well, look, how vague is the word psychosis? Pretty damn vague. Psychosis. What is this?
I'd sadly apply it to like the youth and everyone that uses TikTok. Like that could be a form of psychosis, just watching the same thing over and over and over. Like, remember Vine? Like 7-second videos, like
yeah. All right, so let's see this right real quick. Psychosis. Let's look up the word psychosis, because again, you see the article. I'm sorry, or not, the wrong article. Right here. Depression and psychosis. Remember, these are lobotomies. See this? The VA again would lobotomize anyone with schizophrenia, suffered from depression, and psychosis. So let's look up the word psychosis. What does academiology in the medical field say and or classify as psychosis? Psychosis is a mental disorder caused by a person becoming disconnected from reality. Holy fuck, brainiacs. Oh my God. What did I just do?
Yeah, for me, spiritually, psychosis is just like turning on Facebook, being like mindless sheep that way. That could be a form of psychosis.
Oh shit! You know what? You did again. You did again. What you just said and what we just went over. Again, look at it. Look at the word. Look really close. Psychosis is a mental disorder caused by a person's becoming disconnected from reality. Do you know how many people today would be lobotomized? It says symptoms may include delusions and hallucinations, among other features. Oh, what is a feature? A feature of hallucination? A feature of disillusion? Additional symptoms are incoherent speech, behavior, a behavior that is inappropriate for a given situation. Oh, like you mean someone maybe possibly standing up to the tyrannicalism going on in the Matrix here and saying, "Fuck you! You ain't sticking something in my arm that I don't want in my body." That to me would be, inappropriate behavior.
You're trying to leave the reality of them sticking it in you.
Bingo! I mean, come on. That's me saying, and going on here. I've got a lack of withdrawing from following the narrative. That is what their word for psychosis is. It's not following the given instruction, being or thinking outside of the narrative. That is absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. So continuing on and check this out, because this gets even better. Okay, some men who identified as homosexuality or homosexual were also lobotomized. Holy shit. So we're going into a clarification here where you aren't allowed to be who you want to be. You're not allowed to be what you feel in your spirit that you want to express. So they're just going to lobotomize. They're just going to lobotomize someone for their methodology of thinking, their way of believing in their world. See, this to me is absolutely messed up. Absolutely messed up. To the point where their tyrannicalism is going over on, let's just wipe out those people or try to wipe out those people. That's what I think. Again, that's thinking outside of the box. That makes me suffer from psychosis. That makes me delusional. Right? I mean, I'm the one.
You shouldn't self-diagnose yourself with psychosis. Otherwise, that'll make you have more psychosis.
Right. I think I'm fucking normal. I think I'm normal because I think the way I think. I am a very critical thinker. Okay? I think critically. I think logically. I think critically. I also think abnormal. I think the way I think. Simple as that. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say that I'm like better than anybody. I'm not very different. I'm just me. Okay, I question everything, even reality. That's what I've told you guys from the beginning of this program. That whatever started. That is the link. That is the tagline of this show. We are the Matrix minds. We are the minds within this Matrix, and we question everything. Everything, even the reality that we're in. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need a lobotomy. You don't need a lobotomy for questioning the shit around you. You don't need labeled as, well, you're a psycho, you're fucking cray-cray, or you're mentally unstable. You don't need a lobotomy for that. You don't need a medicine because you suffer from a day of depression. We all look at the fucking world around us. They're blowing shit up, burning shit, setting trains ablaze, toxifying our air, killing us with our food, fucking poisoning our water. I can go on and on and on. It is what it is. I mean, our boy that's been with us since the beginning of this program, Apollo, same scenario. He didn't think the way they wanted him to think. So therefore, well, guess what? He's different. Let's label him. We've all got them people in our world. I've got 3 of them in my world right now. that I know of. I only have point one. He's literally diagnosed as having Asperger's syndrome. Okay, he goes to an evaluation every so often to check on him. Come on, man. This kid I know him as fucking brilliant. Sharp as a tack. Because that's what they are. They're brilliant. They think so fast, so rapid. I'm sorry, medical academiology don't know what or how to deal with them. So let's just throw them in their own little safety bubble, pat them on their ass, send them to school, labeled as schizophrenic, label them as Asperger's syndrome, etc., etc., etc. They're normal. These are normal fucking people. Normal spirits in a body that's functioning to the degree that they chose to be in. That's the way I believe. Again, you see, they would probably ball gag me, throw me in a frickin' what's it called? What is that suit, Apollo? Straight jacket.
White. Yeah, this straight jacket.
Yeah, you guys
they can't put a straight jacket on your mouth or what you're saying. Because not the problem, but I can see from their perspective, you're a problem because you can inspire other people, not only with Asperger's or whatever, mental illness, schizophrenia, openly, spiritually, but also you can open other people's eyes that are just normal. That's a danger too. From their perspective.
From whose perspective? Medical academiology, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like if anyone had to be lobotomized, like you could be like an Alex Jones, but you care about more normal people, if that makes sense.
Our people. I care about our people. I don't care. I don't care what box that they want to put them in. That's the box that the spirit chose to be in. Okay, to me, I don't believe in an abnormality. Earl Fields, I'm serious. The way I'm telling you and expressing it, this is the way I feel. My spirit feels that. There's nothing wrong with these kids. Nothing wrong with these people. Apollo, did you hear him talking? He's your own self. I'm asking the crowd. I'm asking the audience.
I'm not saying anything against you. I was just saying you, like, because I love you. Like, I've been a member. I've been a part of this community for, like, just a watcher.
Ooh.
But that's the problem with just watching, is eventually, like, from a watcher's perspective, you're not allowed to intervene. But eventually, at a certain point, you have to have a heart. That's what I was saying about you, is that I admire you because you have that strength, and that's awesome. Like, I wasn't saying anything against you. I was trying to say,
bro, you didn't even really hear what I said. There's nothing wrong with you. They in the world wanted to throw you in a box, and that's what I'm saying. If everybody hears the way you're speaking, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you at all. You just don't fit that agenda. You don't fit in the. I like to say it like this: the cul-de-sac community, right? You don't fit.
Stepford. I call it the Stepford wives.
Bingo. There you go. You make a piss poor Stepford wife.
Oh, I could drink. I'll drink any Stepford wife. I'm sure.
That's funny. That is absolutely funny. So what else is on your mind? Because I didn't really even get to go into the trans-allegheny lunatic asylum. Didn't really get to go into that one,
Sorry?
The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Oh.
It's all right. It's completely all right. What we're talking about, again, you gotta remember, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. This man that we were talking about, Henry Cotton, I won't even throw him in there as a doctor. This piece of shit literally mutilated people, mutilated them, experimented on them. Okay? And the medical field for quite some time, again, you've seen it your own self, held him at a very high regard in the United States and Europe. They praised this man. Praised this man. This motherfucker was the director. Okay? The director of that facility. He was the cat's ass at the time. Lobotomized these people. It's absolutely fucking insane. This, and let me tell you what, you after all of what you heard me say tonight, the way that this man tortured these people, do you want to know how this piece of shit died? Can I give me a wild guess? How do you think that this piece? How?
In my head,
Mm-hmm.
in my head, I'm gonna think it's opposite of Nikola Tesla, who died alone in a hotel room loving a pigeon. So probably, I'm saying the opposite of that. So he probably died by his family. Like someone looked after him when he died.
This man, I want to also check on I see Tammy Bonham says, hey, if you ever want to go up there, Matt, for an EVP session, let me know. I'll take you up on that. We'll talk about that. I'm serious. Let me tell you how this piece of shit died. He died quite rapidly of a heart attack. Didn't have Alzheimer's, didn't suffer from dementia, didn't suffer from, cancer or any long illness. No. This piece of shit died, wham, just like that. Gone. Fell over with a heart attack. Man, what a twisted fucking world we live in. Lobotomized thousands and thousands of people. Remove the spleen of people, stomachs from people. And this piece of shit got to die from a heart attack. Imagine that.
It'd be so sad, though, if in the future we just saw him as a pawn, too.
Wow. You had to say that, didn't you?
Sorry.
You had to say that because he was. He absolutely was. The spirit come in here to do its thing, and it did. I truly believe that the spirits come in here to experience the protocol, the script, the what contract ever we sign before we inhabit these vehicles. We have our own little narrative to play out here to help guide society along and say what is not, what we will not put up with. It's like this. It's like this is this story that we're talking about. We shouldn't put up with this. We shouldn't put up with neurological, biological interaction, tampering with the RNA, the DNA, any of that. Okay, to a degree where I'm going here. You don't have a choice. No. You think I'm kidding whenever I say I will die where I sit? I'm not kidding whenever I say I will die where I sit when it comes to intervention of that nature. You will not vaccinate me. Will not fucking happen. Interesting. I think I'm quite sure I got door kicker. Is this Mr. Larry Hawkins or is this Kenny? Mr.
It's Kenny.
Oh my God! You had to call me exactly almost at 20 minutes prior to the ending of the show. What's on your mind, bro? Complicated rock.
I just want to mention a couple of things while you're talking about this stuff, because they never stopped doing lobotomies, man. What do you think Prozac is?
Well, that's the
That's
the biological lobotomy.
Yeah. What do you think ADHD medication is?
Oh yeah, you're right. Everything.
And here's the
You're right. Absolutely.
The scary part about that. Now, here's the scary part about that. That Prozac doesn't break down in the environment at all. They found Prozac. This has been years now. This 20 years ago they were finding this. Fatty tissue of fish around the big cities had Prozac in them. Nowadays, babies are born with Prozac in their bodies. Animals around cities have it. Fish around the waterways have it.
That's
a brain altering chemical that does not break down in the environment. Well, of course, it could be removed if they wanted to spend the money instead of on their death cult agenda, because now they're not even lobotomizing people anymore. They're just going to go ahead and kill people off because they can't control. They're scared. They know that we're waking up to all of their corruptions and what have you, and they're scared of us.
As they very well should be.
Right. This poisoning of the environment.
They're tracking the COVID in the water supply. Like, why can't they track like all the neurotoxins they're putting inside people and
that's my point. Is they have. Right, they have, and they just don't care. I mean, it's like it doesn't matter. And they're at the point now where, I mean, you could go all the way back to 3M and Teflon chemicals, and they've done a lot of stuff. But here's what's really crazy about this whole thing with all of these train derailments and stuff. Did you know that the top 5 finance companies that Matt knows about, I know talk about exactly who they are: State Street, Vanguard, BlackRock, J.P. Morgan, and Chase Manhattan Bank. The monopoly, shareholder, collective capitalism, public and private partnership, this umbrella of control of the private central bankers. They're the same exact companies that own all the vaccine companies. They also own all the railway systems that are polluting our environment with all of these spills and burning stuff off and stuff, and doing these things that they know are contaminating the areas and world around us. And here's the thing. Their agenda that they created says that if the land is polluted, we have to go to what's known as a 15-minute city. And they have the power to send people there by the laws that they have created with their partners. Right? So these 15-minute cities are a real thing, and that's their goal, is to remove everybody from the land that God gave us this earth. It doesn't belong to them, but they're going to do whatever they can to usher everybody into these 15-minute cities. Now, how much of a lobotomizing situation do you think they'll create in those cities? You already can't even talk out about what they're doing without being. They gulag me before I even get out of the gulag nowadays, because they know who I am, they know what I have to say, and they know that it's as Matt would say, I don't fit their reality. So what are they going to do? They're going to put everybody in these 15-minute cities, and you're going to trust them with that? You're going to trust these people with your lives and your children's lives? And of course, I'm speaking out the way I am means I'm crazy, right?
Yeah, you need a lobotomy, Kenny.
That's right.
You need a lobotomy. You don't fit the narrative, bro. You don't. I'm just saying. Everything I've read, everything I read, and everything I shared, what he just said, they would have his ass ball gagged, thrown in chains, and drug off and lobotomized, bro. I'm not kidding you.
Like he was trying to say, they won't lobotomize him. They'll give him
Neurotoxic medication.
Continuous mandatory. Listen up. This is important. A continuous mandatory vaccine program is what they're pushing for, is it not? It's not just about their experiments with nanotechnology so that they can become gods, which is part of what they're doing. They want a continuous mandatory vaccine program so they can experiment with the technology for having you nanotagged in real time, being able to see you in real time from space. Now, all you got to do to understand that, truly understand that, is watch the 1986 movie Red Dawn. Once you're nanotagged, and they can see you from this web that they're putting around you in space, which, by the way, is biblical, man.
Man, stop. Get back on topic. Look. I'm on topic. You may not like it, but I'm definitely on topic. It's not even that I don't like it. Every time that you, for some reason, every time you come on the show, every time the show disappears, the switchboard locks up. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. There you go.
But here's the thing.
I'm going to tell you about the continuous mandatory vaccine program.
No, you're not. No.
One of the reasons they want that is for their undetected color.
Man, Kenny, come on, bro. Okay. Here's the thing. It's not that you're crazy. All right. It's not that you're crazy. It's just listen.
I know I'm not crazy.
It's not that you're crazy. Oh God, how do I gotta say this lightly? And that is
how
this.
How do I say this politely? That you don't like the fact that I'm a Christian. That's all it is, man.
Oh my God, you didn't go there.
So in your eyes, I'm a problem because I'm a Christian.
Did you really go there?
Yeah, you went there.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't go there. You did.
How the hell did I go?
The minute I even said, and that's biblical, that triggered you. And your being triggered has less to do with what I'm saying and more to do with something that's happened with you.
All right, Kenny.
Sorry, I was going to say.
Wow.
In this conversation,
holy shit.
I was going to say, the spirit of fear is edible to some entities.
I think
spreading that is.
So are you saying you don't think if they want a continuous mandatory vaccine program and that they wouldn't use it for culling?
I think that you're scared shitless, Kenny. I really believe you're scared.
I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of anything. That's why I'm openly talking about this when I'm probably risking my life doing so. You do understand that, right?
What do you think I do every
now is in a
bro,
standing up for his right to go to the Capitol on January 6th to petition his government, his constitutional right, to petition his government with his grievances as it pertains to the most sacred right we have, the right to vote. I'm not scared. I don't have fear in me. You might see it as fearful.
I see it as you're pushing.
That's not mine.
You're pushing a fearful agenda on. In your thought process, you're pushing a very fearful topic.
An informative agenda.
Being informative in
I'm not
that.
Scared of it.
Look, you're
scared of it. That's on you.
I'm not scared of it. Okay, I'm not scared of it. I don't see my world the way you see it. But you didn't have to say I don't like what you're saying because you're a Christian. You didn't have to say that. Why the hell did you say that?
Man, I didn't. I simply said it's biblical, and my even saying that one phrase, that's biblical too. I wasn't going to go any deeper than that.
But you
The minute I made that phrase, you got triggered.
Because
now, every triggered has less to do with me and what I believe in, and more to do with you. I'm just saying.
Kenny, last time you called the show, was there anybody remotely able to call the show after that? No. Do you know that there's tech trying to figure out why? I don't for a long while we thought you were a plant. You were planted.
Oh,
I'm just saying, I shit you not. We literally thought that you were planted on the show to get the show.
So now you're going to shoot the messenger? Is that what it is? Your message is the same as mine.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
all of the time. The only difference between your message and mine is I see it as being biblical what's going on, and you do not. That's it. The only difference.
If it's biblical, then it's all a script, and we don't really have free will.
Oh my God.
No, you definitely have free will, but that doesn't change prophecy actually perhaps being true, does it now?
All right, check
But
this out.
prophecy from the
Matt and I have
prophecy
talked
from the
about this. We
future.
have a different perspective on it.
I'm not gonna kill Kenny.
I
I'm just
respect
gonna.
his perspective.
I'm just gonna say that we've got to go at an hour and 45 minutes. Kenny, I don't.
I'll let y'all go right now because I don't mean to trigger you, Matt.
You're not, man. You're not.
Y'all have a great conversation, and it was a good conversation.
He's triggering the algorithm. Do you not hear me? The
Yeah,
algorithm of censorship. That's my problem.
Okay.
I mean, and again, it's like it's every really cool topic, and it's got nothing to do with you being a Christian. It's got nothing to do with your belief. It's got nothing to do with that. I've got to really be careful of what I say, how I say it, when I say it, and the delivery. And you come on here and don't really give a shit about that. That's my hang up.
A little late in the game to be giving a shit about delivery, actually, Matt.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You can dance for them. You can dance for them all you want to, but it's not going to change what's coming if people don't wake up.
Again, bro, I see that as I see that as a fear. Okay, I see that as a fear mongering. I see that as pushing a narrative. I see that as reality building.
Well, then
That's truly the way.
Continue to dance around the terminology and all. I mean,
I'm not dancing around shit. I don't believe what you believe. I see this matrix as already fallen. Fucking fallen. These people are gone. Done. The narrative is done. We will never ever have a Holocaust again. Do you realize that?
Who's talking about a Holocaust? I'm talking about waking people up so there isn't another Holocaust.
Ah.
And if you don't think that they're not,
So there is not.
They're not poisoning us with one real thing after another, one poison, destroying our food processing, destroying this and destroying that. They're doing it every day, left and right. Everywhere we turn, they're doing it.
You're feeding their world.
Monopoly shareholders that are doing it.
I'm just going to interject as a Native American from Canada. It's awkward to talk about two humans fighting over land.
Yeah, I've got a little Native blood in me too. I can relate with that. But you know, the past isn't the present, and it's not the future. Our future has to be built on our hopes and dreams. But in order to, Einstein said it this way: first, you have to recognize the problem. And then one of the best quotes the man ever said, and he was brilliant, is to take the old problem and look at it from a new perspective. Take the old problem and look at it from a new angle. And he's right. These solutions are there. But to do the same thing over and over and over again with the same negative result is the definition for insanity.
That's right.
You might say, well, look, we've been talking about insanity all night long, but truthfully, that is the definition of insanity. And we're doing this thing and doing this thing and doing this thing, and it's not getting to where we need to be. Where we need to be is out of the matrix that they're building and in a new place where we have new solutions to old problems.
Let me ask you.
Desalination factories on floating platforms.
God.
Give clean water and air that even take the Prozac out of the water.
I'm going to ask you something, okay? And this will be hitting home for you. Do you definitely do believe in the Creator having already taken care of all of your needs, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. You?
But I'm still
There is no but in what I asked you. That is a yes. You do believe that what you think And what you pray already has got a yes answer to it, correct?
That's correct.
All right. That's a yes as well. So why can't you believe, okay, that what you're saying has already been taken care of? It has already been done. The reality exists outside of your methodology of thinking. You're continually chewing that, well, we need to this, we need to that, we need to that. You need to have faith in
Because
your own.
Matt, and
No,
here's why.
there is no
Because I
but.
don't hear people talking about the solutions. I don't hear people talking
because
about
there
just take one
needs
thing
not
first.
be a solution. It's already done. These people have
Maybe-
already. You're not following what I'm
Maybe
saying.
Where's
Maybe
the
he's
solution?
part of
Where's
the
the solutions?
solution.
Where are these solutions even being mentioned?
It's
Name,
in your
name where these solutions are.
head.
Yeah, let's
You
do it
are
this way.
you
Let's
are
do it. Let's
put.
break it down
Stop,
here for a
Kenny. You are put in your environment to experience your perception of said reality. You've seen the construct itself. You died. You've seen the construct. You've seen the matrix for what it truly is. You've seen it. It exists. Now you need to get your ass out of that formality and the belief that you need to pray. You need to worry. You need to push this. It's already being done. It's already done. That's what I've been trying to tell you a long time ago.
Okay, so I'm asking you a question. What do we have for, say, a voting solution?
Why don't you
How are we gonna get
why don't you tell me what we
How are
have
we
for?
gonna
What you tell me?
I could give you an easy solution to voting. No
Why
problem.
why don't you
Do it
just
the same
wait?
way they do-
Why
do
don't
it the same way they do
certificate
banking?
numbers.
Do it the same way they do banking with blockchain, right? Secured banking. Everybody can call in and set up their account. Easy
What?
peasy.
Why don't you stop
You
worrying
can call
about?
call in and check to make sure your vote went through properly. You can call in to check the overall balance throughout voting night to make sure that vote was administered properly throughout. There would be no anomalies. There'd be no stopping overnight and starting in the middle of the morning. So any anomaly would be obvious. Everybody turns into a vote checker. But you don't hear people talking about these solutions. I'm just saying, you don't. You have to recognize
You're
the
stuck
problem
in a
and then work.
fucking loop, bro. You are stuck in a you know what?
No, society's stuck in their same old thing over and over again with the same negative result.
Then you tell, dude.
That
We
would
have.
be a good solution for voting. Would be
Oh, man.
to track all the Americans by
Fuck.
their birth certificate.
I just said that we have the technology. Banking technology existed forever. We
Not
have the
banking,
technology
birth
where you could set
certificate.
up an account. You could call in and check your vote, make sure it went through the way you asked that you wanted it to, anytime you want to.
You
They
know
can
what?
call in if you die. In the same way they send your death certificate into Social Security, they could send your death certificate into the voting system and remove you from the logs.
Bro,
We have these
why?
solutions. So why is it so messed up? You tell me. Why is it still the way it is?
Why don't you
Why is
have
it the
Why don't you have
intellectual
faith in your
property
creator?
protection?
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you that. Why don't you have faith in your God?
I do, man.
Then by
We're
God,
in
listen.
Revelation
Then
right
shut
now. This is
shut
being
it down.
exposed because people
Shut
like
it down.
myself.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Okay, change your perspective and realize what you're saying is creating an environment where what you're saying creates your word. The word. Think about it. You want to talk biblical? How was your world created? By the word, right? Your words are very
Right.
powerful,
And
Kenny.
I'm offering a
Listen,
solution.
listen. No, dude, what you're offering is nothing
Here's
but.
a solution for
Man,
you.
I'm gonna-
Intellectual property protection doesn't belong anywhere near a
Oh, my
vaccine
God.
being coerced into your body.
Done. Done. What I just said was perfect. And you didn't even fucking hear it. Have faith in your creator that what you're believing, what you're saying is real. Have faith that what you're having and you come out of your mouth. Oh my God. Energy goes where the thought is. Okay? So it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I'm not even gonna let him beat a dead horse. Sorry, I hung up. I killed Kenny. Sorry, I did.
So you're the answer to South Park. Who killed Kenny?
I didn't mean to, but he's not listening to what I'm saying. He's not. I love that. I really, truly do love that dude, but he's stuck in this very informative way of what he's thinking. I understand that he's all, involved in revelations and this and this. And I see it as a script. I see it as they're trying to push a narrative. And you know what? Had nothing to do with me trying to tell him that he's a bad person for being a Christian. I didn't even remotely say that. I didn't want to go there, and I'm not even going. I didn't go there. I mean, shit. Damn it, man. Whew. 469, I think is a country code. What's going on? Welcome to the Matrix. Sorry about that. What's going on? Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Speak up a little bit more.
Oh, okay. Well, you're actually talking to the Atom Twister over here. It appears my YouTube channel is not in sync with the live stream. I noticed that there was somebody over there stuck in a bit of a rut. Is that correct?
I don't know, Adam. You tell me. Did it sound like a rut?
Yeah, it sounded like a rut, like someone thought he believed in Source when he didn't really. You see,
Wait.
the way a lot of these things...
Describe that for me. Describe Source and creation for me, Adam.
So, over on my YouTube channel, I talk about a Type 1 consciousness. And the Type 1 energy recognizes oneness in all things. Source is the one that is all, the all that are one. That's why it expresses itself as a white light. Pure white. Absolutely pure. With nothing left out. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I would call that cosmos, but yeah.
Well, it goes well beyond the cosmos, as a lot of people know it. But every version of the cosmos, every version of this universe and all the other universes and all the other realms and everything else, Source is, the thing that bees all those things, and in that way, it holds the wisdom of all those things. And guess what? You are that Source. Hence, it's the one that is all, therefore it is all of us, and the all that are one. Therefore, Source is our true essence. So, to go ahead and say that things are not going to be taken care of is kind of like saying your heart is not going to beat. Your heart
Bingo.
doesn't beat, you die, and you can't live your life. So, of course, everything's going to take care of itself on its own if you believe in it, if you let it. Once you start thinking it's not going to, then it's not going to.
Adam,
Say anything about how.
you hit the nail on the head, bro. No,
That's exactly why I called in.
For nobody that knows who Adam Twister is, this is the highly energetic Adam Twister that our boy Rob got here. I love you, Adam. You're a great channeler. That Robbie interviewed. What was it, Adam? You channeled for. And I knew the night that Robbie interviewed you and was talking to you. I knew that you were like getting downloads, and you so badly wanted to channel.
No, I'm going to go ahead and actually correct you right there.
Okay.
Because a lot of people think that I'm a channeler. I'm actually anything but. I figured this stuff out on my own.
All right.
Logic and using
logic. All right.
Yeah, using logic, using good old school logic, but and also with what Rob, and Treb or Yitney and Aradif and Bashar shared, connecting the dots in that and working with my own consciousness, I figured it out. I understand this mentally, and I actually am releasing a series on becoming a Type 1 being on my YouTube channel that connects the dots between current human understanding of consciousness and the understanding of consciousness that extraterrestrials have, and not just getting the understanding of it, but how to use it, how to integrate it into your system so that you can make extraterrestrials or our brother races part of your own consciousness that is what we call our reality, so that way you can co-create with them. That way you can co-create oneness in yourself and let go of all the beliefs that say, oh, the world is going downhill. Oh, the people in Africa are starving. Yeah, I know, but that's in progress. All these things take time with, putting the parameters of physics to your consciousness. Now, you can let go of those, but a lot of people, and I noticed this in myself, I don't want to just completely let go of them immediately. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and let it go in large part so that I can go ahead and, I explain this in more detail on my channel, because it's kind of a tricky thing to go into detail with, when I don't know how much time I have.
Well,
but,
hang on a minute. Let me see. Shit, should I? I don't know, man. I can cut it from off of the audio only side of things. So go ahead. You've got some time here, buddy. We'll do this. Adam.
Okay, so the one of the things that I talk about in Becoming Type 1 is understanding the entire layout of yourself as consciousness. Remember, reality is your consciousness. And in that way, it is the expression and reflection of yourself. And if you really do some introspection for long enough, really looking deeply into the different things that you want to, or that you want, and, especially if you never picked up any habits of lying to yourself or of self-deception or things like that, which I never did. And that was a huge help, because all these things, like, my mind is very well streamlined. I went to a lot of trouble to keep it streamlined. I used to work with physics and stuff like that, so I actually have a very scientifically oriented mind. And that came in handy with coming to understand this stuff. So as I was saying, your reality is your consciousness. So when you start seeing yourself in all the things around you, and especially all the people, then you can start letting go of judgment in yourself. I also say reality is the expression of your consciousness. That's what I used to say. It eventually became reality is your consciousness. But in being your reflection and expression and all that, it shows you what beliefs you're carrying, what you're choosing to live. And you can use that to come to understand yourself more and understand what parts of yourself do what. And when you understand what each of the parts in your reality, what parts of you express themselves as that, you can start working with yourself and learning how to co-create. And getting to understand the complete layout of yourself with this can take some time, because there are things like the co-creational dynamic and all that, which I'm actually going to be addressing very soon, if I haven't already, on my YouTube channel, and how to work with that, and why there's a phenomenon that Rob has mentioned, if I remember correctly. I think he touched on it very briefly, the idea of people projecting on others.
Yes. He has.
That was and in what context. Okay, good. So you saw that. So that's part of the co-creational dynamic. So as you are aware of with how this consciousness works, I'm a reflection and expression of your own consciousness. And so there's a part of you that's very open to how this stuff works, and this allows me to exist in a pretty pure form as part of your own reality. It's why I'm able to share this stuff here in such detail, why this connection has not broken, or why I'm not feeling that much resistance to the idea of iterating all this. And so when you let go of judgment energy from yourself, when you let go of belief that people are bad, that the world is a terrible, horrible place, you open up to the idea of it being good. And this is why believing in people and not judging people is so precious to me. Because there was a guy who came to the Enlightenment Evolution Hour just recently. It was like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Julio R. Ra. And he is open and not judging. He follows his heart. And the openness in that way and the lack of judgment energy allowed for the people of his reality to come forth and be themselves. Because for him to, like, let's say if I'm fearful, if I'm judging people, for me to even exist in those people's reality, as I am an expression of their consciousness, they would have to hold a fear of being judged. Or otherwise I wouldn't judge them. Otherwise the version of me that judges them would literally not be a part of their reality. So this is why when you judge them, you're co-creating a version of the people around you that believe that they might be judged. Guess what they might do or not do in response to fear of being judged? Open up.
You're right. Now, is that Adam's thinking, or was that Treb talk? Because I know
That's
Treb.
my thinking.
All right.
Yeah, you know Treb Boryitny. He's a dear friend of mine, and I really love him very much. And actually, when I do learn to be, when I start being type 1, recognizing my source deeply enough that I can actually just explore reality almost like it's thought more than its physicality, because reality is only physical because people are existing physically. They set their consciousness to have all the background stuff is operating with those physical laws, and their belief in the lack of possibility in people teleporting, and people performing telekinesis, and people shifting instantly from one reality to another, in belief in all these different things, like me instantly adding something into my room, like a big wind chime that would support me in music. Because they don't believe in that, the version of me here, I'm not able to do that. And of course, because I do not fully believe in people to believe in that, and in myself to believe in that, I'm not co-creating the version of them that do believe. Although, well, actually, that's not entirely it.
But hey, Adam,
accurate to say that. Yep.
That rut you talking about whenever you first come on. I've been trying. The rut that those people are in. I've been trying for a very, very long time to get him or them out of that. That narrative of thinking, because again, the dig was, well, you don't like me because I'm Christian. Wait, no, that has got nothing to do with it. I see it as my reality is a construct of my own consciousness, a lot like you see it. And I wanted them to, or him, them, whatever, to realize that if you quote unquote pray, and if you believe in your reality will be what you believe. So please, don't feed a fear mechanism. Don't feed a fear agenda. Don't feed a fear-based script. Okay, believe that believe your creator. Believe that you've got everything taken care of, and just forget about it. Okay.
I actually think I can word it a little bit better for you.
Please.
I have a saying for this: count on your consciousness. And this is something, when you see somebody in pain in your world, or you're aware that people are in pain in this world, one of the most challenging things for co-creating, comes into play. And that is, well, I didn't word this right, but let me go ahead and give it another go. So one of the things that's needed to be learned with, existing with certain parts of your consciousness being put into automation, like you're existing physically, you're existing with people, you're existing in a continuity where, people have to learn step by step. When you decide to co-create something like what I'm doing, where I'm opening up to the idea of me being able to do all this, and not just doing all this, but doing all this in the human collective. I have to co-create a version of a human collective that can do all this. And when I go ahead and, decide I'm going to stick with this set of physics, where, like, if I drop a ball, it's going to fall down to the ground, unless, of course, I stop it with telekinesis. But right now, the beliefs that humanity has can't co-create that. For it to go from where it is to open to things like what the Yagyel are open to, it's going to take some time. They're going to have to do the conscious work, because I'm staying in the continuity, and that's by choice. I'm staying in the continuity. And so that means that a lot of the problems, like the people over in Africa, some of the people in South America, and all of that, you're going to have to be patient and trust that all that is going to work out. And it won't be immediate. And people might still be in pain for some time, but they will eventually work it out. It's like this with aviation. And here's a really good example for something that will really help you guys. It took a little while for aviation, for planes and all that, to become as safe as they are. And in between now and then, there were a lot of accidents. I highly recommend you go watch Mentor Pilot's channel, because he'll show you all about those air accidents, and most importantly, what people learn from them. And you can also learn a lot from the comments section there, because a lot of the aviation community shows up there. And sometimes it isn't the government that, helps, the community become safer. Sometimes it's the people.
Right.
And then, of course, the government does do some of its part. Yeah, there are a lot of people that have been let into government that are not exactly the nicest people in the world. But again, your source. If you want to not co-create that, don't co-create it. And most importantly of all, have patience. Count on your consciousness. Let it have what it needs to work.
Meditate with it. Meditate on it. I've tried. Yes.
Actually, you don't even have to do that. I'm not a meditator. I'm
No.
active to meditate. I meditate only every once in a while, sometimes when I go to sleep and sometimes when I'm playing my chimes. But I actually really don't meditate that much. But, again, everybody's different, so do what works for you.
You are
but
very high
the thing
energy.
that I do, that's the most... Huh?
I said you are very high energy. Very high energy.
Yes. And it took a lot. I learned from Ardif and where he is, and he's one of the highest sixth density beings in the galaxy. And he's a very dear friend of mine. We actually, the build that I'm creating in consciousness, when it's finished, is going to be stunningly similar to his. And, that it's interesting that ended up happening, because I learned recently that Ardif is a single tasker. He doesn't like to split his consciousness into many different spots and do a whole lot of things at the same time. He likes to do one thing at a time.
Well, damn, aren't you lucky?
That.
Aren't you lucky then? If that is the case, you are a very lucky individual.
In what way?
Because that means that you are part of his consciousness as well. So you're a very lucky individual.
Luck has nothing to do with it per se, although I will say I like to look at luck as a skill to be mastered rather than just the mysterious. But the thing about consciousness is you can co-create for, every individual. Like for every experience that anyone can possibly have with me, there's a version of me. There are truly infinitely many versions of me. And the version of me that you experience is a reflection and expression of your own self. And it works this way with all beings, because we are source. We can experience whatever we want. And it's source's love for itself that drives it to experience every facet of itself from every perspective that there is to experience those facets from. Without that love, there would be no experience.
Damn.
And,
I loved what you just said. It was really good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I became excited to connect to and co-create with Ardif as I heard him through Rob, and that's what I did. There was no belief in me that said that I couldn't do it, so I did it.
That is why.
It's that simple. If you want to do anything in life, if you have that mentality, there's nothing between you and doing what you need to do. And in this physical reality, you might have some things that you need to do, some building that needs to be done, but you can do that. There are a lot of people that have been interested in cars, and they've gone to great lengths and great work to become able to build the kind of cars that they do. Like Christian von Koenigsegg is a wonderful example. I wonder how many guys in here are fans of Koenigsegg. They're some of the fastest cars in the world these days.
I don't know.
So Christian von Koenigsegg was a kid that just wanted to go ahead and build his cars. And that's what he did. And he found a way to make that work. And it turns out that, the car industry is not that open to new big mass producers to come into play. And what what Elon Musk did was amazing to get, Tesla started like that. But Koenigsegg instead decided to do low volume, which means that for it to be profitable, the cars have to be really special. And that's how Koenigsegg's ended up becoming as special as they are, and why, the people who know about them love them so much. And you haven't seen one in person. I have not, but I know from what I've seen on videos, because I used to finish metal and stuff like that, and I'm going to be doing so again when I start building wind chimes.
Mm-hmm.
The way the light reflects off that tinted carbon fiber that's on them is truly something to behold. And I'm going to go ahead and eventually make metal that does that, with the way that I'm going to finish it and all that. But the whole point behind all this is that the guy wanted to do something. He didn't let belief in inability to do something stop him from doing it. He just found a way to do it, and he made it happen.
Hey, Adam,
So,
check this out, right? Because I've told Robbie. Robbie knows that it is a really good friend of mine, man, and I love him to death. And I know you love Kalina and Robbie as well.
oh, yeah, I do very much.
Prior to even prior to your interview with Robbie on the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, I told Rob I wanted to get a hold of you, and you always had an open invitation for a talk here. Now that you broke the ice, you broke the cherry here on the Matrix, bro. You've got it now. Everybody wants you back. Everybody. So here's what I'll do with you, if you want, if you're okay with it. Everybody's like, you got to bring him back for a discussion. There's just a talk. Here's the thing. Let me throw this out there real quick, Adam. For anybody that's interested in Adam, all right, he has got a formal interview through the Enlightenment Evolution Hour. Go. Of course, it's recorded here on the Matrix, but you can also go to the page, Robbie's page directly, the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, and check out Adam Twister's interview as well. I think you even got it on. Let me find Robbie's page here, bro. Let me find this. I got it up. I'm gonna bring it up. Okay, Adam. I want to share it.
Hi.
Hang on. That way
I might be faster than you.
Was that all right? So I dropped the Enlightenment Evolution Hour, the ET Whisperer, Rob Gauthier's. Or who we're talking about? Okay, we're talking about Rob Gauthier. Both Adam and I love the dude to death. He's on the show. He's on the Matrix. Go there and try to find the Adam Twister interview. Again, you guys will get it.
Yeah, so I want to go ahead and note that when Rob did, when he put that up, the Adam Twister is actually supposed to be all one word, and he put it as separate words. So if you decide to search it online, you might have a little bit of a trickier time finding it. It is Adam, like atoms and molecules, and I commonly go by Tat in the community. And there's a funny story behind that, because I used to work with ego leaf blowers. And I was on the forum, and there's this guy called Blue Angel, and he called me Tat there because when I had my name, the Adam Twister, in the account, it abbreviated it to Tat for my avatar, and so I was already called Tat, and it resonated with me so much that I decided to run with it.
All right.
And then I also resonated when you called me Twister. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, well, dude, you've got so much. Your high energy reminds me of a damn Twister, literally. That's what I said. I to me, you're Twister. You're Twister. But anyway,
I do resonate a lot actually when you meditate on that, and you feel a big white twister of energy. That's one way to connect to me. Of course, all you really need to do is you can just call on my energy, and I'll be there. My consciousness has a permanent open door policy to all of creation. And, some people wonder, if you do that, are you going to have any malevolent entities come your way? I'll have everything that I need because I trust completely in my own consciousness to co-create, the perfect experience for me. So
right.
I have everybody that I need. And it's a wonderful thing. And I have had a couple of malevolent entities come to the door, but what I've been able to do for some of them has allowed them to find their hearts. And there is no way that one of them would come over to me without having some openness in themselves to the idea of finding the heart. If beings from the darkest depths, of the black hole, or wherever, can come and see me and find their hearts, and anybody can find their hearts. So,
Adam?
it doesn't matter, how far, you are into the darkness. Your heart will always be there for you.
I have a question, Adam. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Hang on a second.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Let me open up something right real quick.
Normally I use my camera to do that, but you'll work.
All right, smart ass. All right, look. I'm gonna do this right here with everybody because I gotta somehow feed these guys. They're the ones that feed the show. Without them being subscribers, donating, dude, this is my work. This is our job. So I'm responding to them. I'm putting you on the spot. Okay? I'm looking at my March calendar.
Yep.
10th, 17th, 24th, or the 31st.
The 5th, 17th, 24th, or 31st. Is that correct?
The 10th, the 17th.
10-0-1-7.
Yep, 10th.
4.
Well, yeah, 24th or the 31st. I've got
Okay.
What the hell? I've got Ryder. We got Ryder Lee coming on the 17th, so it's not the 17th. So the 10th.
Raised by Giants.
Yeah, bro. I love Ryder, man. We're gonna dive deep into the secret space program. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I have a lot to talk about with respect to a lot of the military black projects. Even though I didn't work on any of them, I did have my own sort of black project, and I'll be able to share with that, and I'll be able to share a little bit about what some of these guys deal with, like some of the people who are actually working with this stuff. Because I'm pretty deeply connected to some of these guys, even though I was going to say I've never met any of them physically, but actually I think I did meet one of them. And I understand these guys are in a really difficult position with what they do.
Some of them are. Yeah, exactly.
And I'll be able to go ahead and help bridge some gaps between them, and maybe lay a better atmosphere for them to come forth and to help the world come together and talk about all the challenges that they face, just like mountain bikers come together on Fails and Bales on GMBN. I think you guys should go watch it out. People crashing their bicycles.
Yeah, right. All right, so give me the date. Do you want the second week? The second week of March, right? Which it'll be next week, next Friday, the 24th or the 31st. We pick a date, bro. I'll lock you in there.
I think I might be inclined to go ahead and go with. I don't know if I would go with the 10th, only because right now we are having our bathroom remodeled, and if the guys are over here making a bunch of ruckus, it'll be a little bit hard for me to go ahead and actually have a clean, connection. Well, wait a minute. That's not going to be a problem because it's in the middle of the night over here. They ain't going to be here making ruckus.
Well, you're on
actually,
what, Eastern Standard Time, right? Or Central Time?
Central Time.
Yeah, you're on Central Time.
Any of those dates that you've listed would work.
All right, I'll email you. Okay, I'll lock you in.
Okay.
And we'll have a discussion.
Oh. Yes. So, where shall I give you the email address to send to me? Oh, wait a minute. I've got it on my YouTube channel. I'll just tell it to you here. That's fine. Any of you guys listening, you want to email to me, you can. And you're going to get a kick out of this. It's the Atom Twister at protonmail.com. Get that?
The Atom Twister?
The Atom Twister. Just like my YouTube channel.
Okay, all one word. The ATOM Twister. At what? At what?
At protonmail.com.
You can't not make this shit up, folks. That's too funny.
I can go ahead and put even more stuff on this cake because
Right.
Proton happens to be a really good high security email address company. They're
Oh,
into
Proton
internet
Mail.
privacy and all that.
Oh yeah,
So they are the perfect place for me.
Proton Mail.
No spam, no ads, nothing.
Right.
It's a nice, clean email address where I can go ahead and talk to the people that I enjoy talking to. This happens to be the perfect domain for me.
It is. It actually is. Proton Mail is quite secure. It's like I've gotten to the point now, Adam, where in the world I'm in, I don't care if any ABC agency wants to be in on my whatever, my show or whatever, they're more than welcome. Sit back, shut up, and just listen.
Yeah, I connect to the people energetically over there all the time. Again, I not only, like, the open door policy kind of goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
All of everything that I share is for everybody. Everybody's going to find use out of it.
Right.
And it's just like God is there for everybody because He is everybody. He's your heart, so your heart is always there for you, and so am I. And that's just me being myself.
Again, it's got nothing to do with being. That's why it hurt me to hear Kenny say, because he's Christian. I don't like him. I don't like to hear what he's saying because he's Christian. It has got nothing to do with that, Adam. And I know you knew.
Yeah, Jesus talked about the same thing that I'm talking about. His message was the same message as mine. That's the heart of Christianity. It's a faith. It's not a religion.
Right. It had to do with the negative connotation and the timeline that he was on. I've been trying to tell him forever, please believe that if you believe that your God is the all is God, then let's have faith together that it is already done. We don't need to this, we don't need to that, we don't need to do anything but just experience creation, experience co-creation, and live and experience reality, the reality that we are creating. I'm not going down no belittling timeline. I'm not feeding no one's agenda. I don't want nothing to do with that bullshit, as the Pleiadians would say. You create your own world. You create your own reality. Start creating it the way you wish to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's.
And I'm working hard to be the living example of that.
Let's do it, baby.
But I'm doing that not just to be an example, though. I'm doing it simply because it's who I am.
Right.
I want to go see Aradif, and I want to go ahead and, when I learned that, you are consciousness and you can be anything, it eventually occurred to me that, a human could become a type 1 being. And when I realized that, I was like, I'm doing that. And so I did. And it's interesting because my scientific journey, which has always been one in logic, and by the way, logic can be very useful, but one of the most important things to having a logical mind is the openness. You have to be open. You have to always be observing, always seeing what's around you without bias, without polarization one way or another.
You're right.
And when you're open, then you have the most facts, the most information to work off of to go ahead and connect the dots with logically. And it was actually from, seeing stuff on UFO, I eventually saw, there's enough in common here that I don't think these people are lying about this stuff.
Right.
And so I looked into it, and eventually I came up with a theory for how these UFOs, could work with respect to gravity dampening. And then eventually I saw an actual UFO and was able to logically prove that that was indeed the case. And it employs elements of Einstein's work with relativity and, some of the things that people have talked about with electricity and magnetism. And actually one day I want to go ahead and build my own UFO from the ground up. And by the way, guys, if you want to do this yourself, you don't even need to build physical technology. You can go ahead and work it in your own consciousness. You ultimately, your reality is you, so the coding for its physics are in you. And that means that if you want to build a UFO, you can build just an empty shell and write its physics in your own consciousness. And this is actually something that is practiced in the galaxy. Some UFOs do not have a physical mechanism. They are just an empty shell with the physics written into the consciousness itself that the craft is part of. And then, when you work the physical controls, which not all beings bother to put physical controls on there, but some of them do, it makes the ship respond almost like computer code in Java. And I do code Minecraft, and that's a lot of fun.
I bet.
But, you can do, you can, when you learn your own consciousness well enough and you realize that you are Source, that Source is your true essence, this stuff isn't hard to do.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah. Yep.
When the moment you started talking about building your own craft and creating your own craft and whatever, the word popped into my head, and I just seen Alexa Jameson drop it in the chat, and the word is the Merkaba, the spirit body, the spirit vehicle. Yeah, look up the Merkaba. Adam, do a little bit of research on that one. The Merkaba.
I think I'll do that later, but for right now, I know that my own body is not just an expression of my consciousness, but is an array of first and second density consciousness that I really enjoy co-creating with. I've gotten to know my body and my cells very well. I've heard people talk about the idea of us growing into crystalline silica form. I don't care. I'm taking this body with me, little heart and lungs and all that, because it took me enough time to get to know this body. I'm not going to go ahead and have to learn another body all over again.
Right on, buddy.
And plus, there's also the matter of, it doesn't matter what form you're in or what form you started out of. At the end, you're still Source and you can do anything. And one of the things that I want to do in my life is take the human expression as far as it possibly can go. And that means when eventually I learn how to go ahead and work my consciousness, how to actually teleport, how to go into different co-creations of consciousness. Like when I go visit Trevor Yitney in his dwelling, I'm going with my own body so I can feel the air, so I can, see Treb and his whole family. All of them are named Trevor Yitney. Some of you know the Chi, who we call Sunbor Yitney, and then there are the two children over there, and I want to get to see them with my own eyes. And if need be, I can go ahead and make some adjustments to the atoms or whatever to make sure that my body can survive, or I could basically turn thermosensitivity off or something like that, depending on what the weather is like.
Right.
But I would like to go ahead and experience that with my own body. And I'm basically going to take the consciousness that expresses itself as my cells and all that. I'm taking that all with me, and we'll go ahead and work in communion. So that way, it's just all part of the experience. And when you realize that you're not limited, the only thing you have left to do to go ahead and decide where to go is your own heart's desire. And it took me a little bit to figure that out, but I know what it is now.
Hang on a second. I'm going to try to show everybody the heart of soul. Right here, look at her. I'm showing everybody my little Wednesday. Adam, I co-created with you. You co-created with me tonight, and I appreciate you bringing some very positive dialogue to the show after that little debate with Kenny. Which again, I don't want him thinking that I don't like him. I love the dude to death. I just think he's in a rut. All right.
And there's one thing I want. Yeah, there's one thing I want to go ahead and express before it's time for us to disconnect, and it is that that I believe in all of you. That I understand, as we are all Source, that you all have the ability to go experience whatever you want, and in that way, I believe in all of you like I believe in myself. So it doesn't matter what kind of rut you're stuck in or how limited you think you are. My belief in you is something that will never die.
Adam, usually I have everybody try to say something positive before they leave the show. All I'm going to say is you've already done that numerous times. So again, I appreciate you.
Well, I like racing, so that's why I'm ahead. When I race, I like to win.
All right, look, everybody. Adam, didn't mean to put you on the spot, but everybody's like, dude, you got to bring him back on the show. So it's not an interview. Robbie's already done that. So we're just going to have an evening with Adam Twister, all right? On the 10th.
I would enjoy that, you know.
Cool. We'll have fun, bro. It's just, again, it's not an interview. It's just me. It's everybody learning who the hell you are, how you think, why you think the way you think, helping us co-create with one another, bringing the narrative of the agenda to a halt. Formality of creation. Perfect creation. We got it. I know we got it, dude. And if you listen to the show after you hang up with me, you'll definitely hear where I'm at. This construct is the darkness of the reality is gone, dude. To me, we are taking this to a whole other level. You'll hear me.
I would note that the darkness from the reality isn't gone per se, but it is, for as long as we continue to go ahead and follow our hearts, all of the dismantling of all the old structures that were created when we were not following our hearts, which is what darkness really is. It's unalignment with the heart. It's unalignment with thyself. All of the things that we've created from not following our hearts, we're leaving behind or tearing down so we can go ahead and build what we love to build. And then eventually all that'll be left is what we love.
Aha. Perfectly said, Adam. Seriously, perfectly said. All right, bro, I'm gonna jump off here with you. I thank again everybody. Thanks you for calling, and guess what? We cannot wait to have you back next week.
I was very excited to be here.
Good. Well, we were. It's not that I knew you were gonna call. I had no idea, even in my consciousness mind, I had no idea. But thank you for calling. And again, next week, Adam. Next week, it's 9:00 your time. Friday night. I already sent you an email.
Okay, let me verify that I have received that email. Confirmed invitation, Adam Twister, Friday, March 10th. So I have that.
Ding, ding, ding. Tell the Adam what he's won. He's won 2 hours on the Matrix Minds. Nothing but Adam Twister. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah. All right, bro. Take care of yourself, buddy. We'll catch you another way, another day. All right?
All right. That sounds really good. I'm very excited to see you on the 10th.
All right, bro. Take care of yourself.
Cheers, mate, and cheers, everybody.
All right. Good night, Adam.
Good night.
Okay. Again, everybody, if you're not familiar with Adam, again, I'm not speaking specifically for Robbie, but he did an absolute kick-ass interview on the Enlightenment Evolution Hour with Rob Gauthier. In the beginning of the show, okay, before it's kind of twisted into some weird narrative, the insane story of Dr. Henry Cotton. Again, we will not have to worry about going through this again. Okay, this is like the Holocaust. We're not going to have to worry about having to deal with the Holocaust because, well, we know that our consciousness mind is there to a higher degree. We just need to get the construct to form the reality that we wish it to be. I truly am. I've got, again, I every chance I get via the metaverse, via Facebook, Bedbook, as Mr. Larry Hawkins, our door kicker, likes to say, Facebook. Okay, every chance I get, I'll put my mayor to the fire. I'm not afraid to interact with my local police, Akron Police. Shout out to you. Thank you for being who you are, protecting our people. And all of the ABCs that are stuck in my matrix, stuck in our matrix and having to be forced to watch the broadcast and interact with myself as well as all of these badass matrix breakers here. Tina Danley, Alexa Jameson, Andy Cassidy, and the list can go on. Adam Twister, Kenny, Curtis. Look, these guys, They know. They know, and I know that you know they know we know. Come in. All right, get my little cat going here. Coming at you guys like a freight train of nothing but positive consciousness. That's what we try to do here. And again, I'm going to tell you straight up, in our world and in this construct that that we are in and we're co-creating, we're watching an absolute vegetable tray run the district of criminals on what is supposed to be some of the most glorious, profound land on this planet. Okay, got a little statue in the harbor. Okay, and you know what? No offense to the generation, but that was known as the Horror of Babylon. Ouch. Didn't mean to go there, but I went there. It once was. Okay? Once was. Like I told you earlier in the show, if you didn't hear me, I said that on Anthony Weiner's laptop, there were things that was within the matrix, within the construct, that made these policemen puke. Anthony Weiner, if you don't know who that was Huma Abedin, assistant director of Hillary Rodham Clinton. Right? His laptop made the policemen puke. There were some bad things that happened in this matrix. We understand that. There's still some bad things that's going to happen. I know that too. It's not that I'm just projecting it and thinking about that. I realize that in order to wake up those people that need to be awake into their creative ability, ABCs, you're on the inside. This is to you. You're on the inside of this matrix. Okay? We're on the outside looking at you, looking out at us, what to do. You be you. You be the consciousness. You be the love that you've got, and you continue to let it grow and grow outside of the construct, into my bubble, into everybody else's bubble. You see, whenever you go home, you're just like me. You're just like everybody else that you see in this chat. You put your shoes on, your socks on, your pants on the same way I do. Maybe not the same way, but you understand what I'm saying. You're not any different. You're a human being. You're an entity in a vessel. You're not a vessel with an entity. You are a body, okay, being driven by a higher consciousness, higher source. I'm part of that source. Adam Twister's part of that source. Alexa Jamison's part of that source. Andy Cassidy's part of that source. All Letha Thomas, all of these people are part of you. Like it or not, it's going to be all right. We're going to get through this. We're going to see a whole new day's dawn. And it isn't going to be the same dawn that we were, red dawn. It's not going to be like that. That is a timeline that I don't choose to see constructed in my formality of a reality here. So Red Dawn is a timeline in where we're not going down. It has already happened. Please, Christian community, believe that it's all right. Don't worry about, we see them doing this, we see them doing that, turn off the damn television. Turn it off. Stop feeding the mind the agenda of disconnection. Stop feeding the mind, the brain, the creative mechanism, that destructive creativity. Because believe me, okay, it will indeed create destruction. See it, see what's going on, and believe and see that it's going to be okay. It will be all right, brain. It'll be all right. We're going to get through this. one way or the other. You know this as well as I do. Every chance I get, I will bark, howl at the vegetable tray that's trying to recklessly stand for this nation. It is absolutely it is a mockery. It's a mockery to you and I. Okay? We know this. And the other ABCs know this too. They know this. Give it time. Have faith. Have faith in your source. Because I do. I definitely have faith in my source that, well, you're gonna find that and go with it. Again, shout out to all of you military men and women out there. Every single one of you in uniform, doctors, lawyers, all of you. We appreciate you. You're part of our reality. You're part of our construct. Welcome to the Matrix Minds, my friends, where we question everything, even the formality of reality. We'll catch you here tonight with Miss Lima, the goddess from Atlantis that remembers what happened tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central, and that would be 7 o'clock West Coast time. Everybody take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Peace out. I'll catch you on the other side. I love you guys. Enjoy your night. Co-create with me, Brainiac. Let's get it going. Yeah. Let's do this. That's Mr. Andy Cassidy says, crank that shit up, baby. Good night, everybody. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows on the web. The Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology? Hidden Egyptology. And anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. No show.
You take the blue pills. Story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole.
The vegetable tray can't even keep his mask on.
All I'm offering is stay in Wonderland.
I love you guys.
All I'm offering is stay in Wonderland.
Oh, shit.
All I'm offering is
What is up, all my beautiful and gorgeous souls? I am Michelle Espinosa, otherwise known as the Shaman, through the Matrix Mind Media. So tell me, how many times have you wished that you had that special power of prediction? You know, to know what was going to happen before it actually happened and took place. To have some power and control over that situation before things came flying at you out of left field. The thing is, you actually can have that power. You can be aware of what's coming. Tune in to Astrology TV with me for Breaking the Cage. Every Sunday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Matrix Mind Media. And I will go through the astrology and help put you on the right course and get you back in control of your own life. Love you guys.
This CBD fluid is a whole flower fluid extracted from the cannabis flower. We don't use any heat, butane, or chemicals when we extract, so we get all of the components of the plant. All the CBD, CBG, CBA, all the terpenes, all the flavonoids. This allows our body to absorb at 60 to 90% rather than the average of 6 to 10% absorption you would get with a CBD oil. Because our bodies are made up of mostly water and this is a fluid, it's highly absorbable so that you're getting 500% more nutraceuticals per dose. We also have this available in our CBD spray as well as a muscle rub with all kinds of botanicals. You're going to absolutely love it.
Check it out, Brainiacs. matrixminds.live/CBD. CBD I use. Feel free again. Feel alive.